Hey there, Chris Kroll here again, your quarantine host for Solar Distancing. I'm the managing editor of Solar Builder, and we have been really dissecting the various ways to add storage to your PV system. And today we are being joined by Jorge Guzman, Outback Power Energy Storage Product Specialist, to dive a little bit further into choosing the battery for your application. How you doing, Jorge?
Good. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. And I wanted to compliment you on your beard as well. We kind of were talking about that before we started here, and you know,
Right.
uh, interesting to learn. It's a quarantine beard. You never did that before, so
That's true.
uh, okay, enough of beards. So let's dive into like the battery side of things. So you're talking to a customer who doesn't need to be convinced about energy storage. They know that they are interested. They want to have that along with their solar. But there's a million different battery chemistries and ways of going about it. So how do you, I guess, now start dwindling down the universe of options here?
Yeah, Chris, that's true. There's so many options out there, and getting help as to where to start can be daunting. But really, it starts with what you want out of that battery. And as myself and I'm sure everyone wants to maximize the life out of that battery as much as possible. You want to make sure you get the ROI. Because guess what? Batteries are expensive, and batteries are considered to be the weakest link of the system. Because it's a perishable product, and you getting the right one right from the beginning, it's a good way to start. And batteries, they operate in a give and take basis. So there's no one similar battery as the other one. So getting the right one, it's a good start. How I see it is, batteries are like cars, like vehicles, for example. A big rig, a big semi truck is designed, it's purpose built for it to haul large payloads for long distances, versus a compact car. It's designed to be efficient, it fits everywhere, but cannot carry a big load. So, similar batteries, handle the same way.
Right. So I guess it's going to depend on, obviously, off grid's different than on grid and everything like that. So how would you start recommending how to, choose the correct battery? Like, what are the questions that should be asked of what should they know about what they want their system to do? And then how do they, start moving into their battery selection?
Yeah, and this at first, this could be very um, overwhelming for anyone. Just because there's different chemistries, there's different voltages, capacities, form factors. So again, the first thing that you want to make sure that you understand is how is this battery going to be used in your application. So is it going to be in a backup, like in a backup a scenario where, you're just going to have your system, your batteries sitting on float until you get a power outage? That's backup. Is it going to be cycling, like off grid, where you just deep discharge the battery, recharge them back up? That's cycling. Are they going to be for self consumption? Like behind the meter consumption? Do you have any like capacity? Like large capacities that you need for your large home? Any space restrictions? Any cost restrictions? So answering these basic questions will allow the user to head into the right direction.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Reminded me that I didn't put up today's title card, choosing
Oh,
your battery. And so it maybe is a good segue into what I wanted to get into next. Do you have recommendations? I mean, now that we kind of know the various categories or things that be thinking about, let's maybe go further into what are we selecting and why?
yeah, and there's to kind of narrow it into three big major players in the market. The first one that everyone is aware of, they've been around for decades, before my time, before your time, probably. It's the flooded lead acid batteries. those have been the go-to batteries since the early days of solar. The 70s, the 80s. That was the go-to battery for a reason. Well, why? Because it's a proven technology that has been around since the late 1800s. It's robust. It's very forgiving. So someone that is just going into solar off grid, and you don't want to fork up a lot of money up front, then you go with FLA batteries. They're like your training wheels per se, because again, they're very forgiving. And again, it's low cost. On the other hand, these batteries do need a lot of mains. So if you're a hands-on person, this is probably the go-to battery for you. Now, in the last decade or so, there's been a new immersion battery. So what they've done is we've taken the sealed AGM VRLA battery, but added some enhancements for solar, for solar applications. So what that means is that we've taken the AGM battery that everyone knows about, and we've made this battery out of purity metals, like pure lead, for example, and we've added a carbon enhancement onto the negative plate. So this allows this battery to cycle a lot better, has longer life. So this battery again it's a good overall good battery for backup and cycling applications. Now,
sorry to jump right in there. Just
Sure.
curious, I've been hearing more about AGM, like you said. Are these more for off grid or on grid, or a little bit of both, or like kind of where are you seeing them most used these days?
That's a very good question. And, the carbon chemistry is a very active material. So, these batteries or these advanced AGM batteries, they like to be cycled, so, some based on the carbon chemistry, some can do both, can float and cycle, others only can cycle. So this is kind of like a like in between hybrid battery, if you will.
Okay, cool. So then I guess then the next kind of big bucket to get into is then like lithium-based batteries.
Yeah, so this is the new kid in town. Everybody is talking about it, and for a very good reason. This battery has been proven to be a good fit for solar applications. Why? Well, because it offers long cycle life. Some of these can offer 10,000 plus cycles, 10-year warranty in a small footprint. High energy density. So it's a very exciting battery, and one of the coolest things that I think is the form factor and also the aesthetics. I like to go on social media and check what others are doing with their battery systems, and they add LEDs and they add all these cool things, and so again, we're going more to the appliance type of battery systems, which I think is really cool.
Cool. And just in case someone isn't sure, can you just quickly explain form factor and what exactly that is?
Yeah. So the form factor is what it sounds like. So how the shape of how the battery is built. So, for example, a lot of newer like lithium batteries are wall mounted, and they're flat. So that form factor, if you will, is designed to be more compact versus like a lead acid battery that needs to be floor mounted, that will take more space, more footprint out of your garage per se. So that form factor, if could be different where it's going to be installed, or the requirement, if you will.
Gotcha. All right, and then just out of curiosity, if someone is working with Outback to kind of set their system up, are batteries available? Are all three of these available through you or your partners?
Yeah. So we do offer all these type of chemistries. We our our batteries are purpose built, so we do make it easy for the user to pick the batteries. And of course, if you guys need any help, you're more than welcome to email us or go to our website, sales at outbackpower.com, for more information.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for taking the time today, Jorge.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to launch into my cheesy ending here. So remember everybody to stay safe, stay away, but go solar.